got confused by Apple's new iPhone update, and we didn't get to see this being opened containing golden astronauts. Somebody sent me golden astronauts in a Twinkie box, which is just like, you know, I've gotten aspirin boxes, breakfast sandwich boxes, granola bar boxes, underarm deodorant boxes. I think there was an Old Spice box that something came in, and now Twinkies. So we definitely are getting it all over here as far as the packaging, and props to the vendor who gave me a great deal on these two Golden Astronaut Moon Exploration Series vehicles. Purchased to be opened, by the way, especially the Cricket, P-1 Cricket here, in a highly compromised state. I'd already had a SpaceX issue of the Cricket and an open example as well, although it's missing the plumb bob there in its rocket launcher. And I've been dying to open up one of these Moon Prospector vehicles. Grabber arm moon roving thing. I already had, of course, a version of the vehicle called the Explorer MEV2 from the SpaceX UK line here with the orange wheels, and the North American Golden Astronaut version of the line got the, I guess those are sort of dark yellow, mustard wheels, and I obtained this example specifically so that I could open one of them. You know how much I love doing that, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be the one that came out of the Twinkies box over here, because of the Golden Astronaut figure itself that comes with it, which is a highly unusual figure. And if I'm not mistaken, and thanks to the help of toy researcher Paul Breed, we can confirm that he at one point was based on the Multiple Toy Makers, or MPC 5-inch figure here holding their rangefinder device with one leg to its tripod only. I believe that's what that's intended to be. Chose it specifically. The vendor actually had a couple of each, and these were the two of the vehicles that I was interested in having one to open that came with MPC style astronauts rather than the standard LP Toys produced astronauts. And of course LP did all of the figures for the Golden Astronaut and SpaceX toy ranges. I don't know if we've got any markings on the base of that yet. The Cricket over here comes with this dude, and sure enough, he's based on my Major Tom, as I've named this guy here. I think actually they're both in the same pose after I looked at them long enough. And we're missing some accoutrement that he's holding in his hand, and there's a broken gold flinder there that's bouncing around. I think that's supposed to be connected to the camera. We'll have to go to the SpaceX website to take a look and see what the form is supposed to look like in its pristine version. And indeed, the Moon Prospector vehicle that I'd had previously from the Golden Astronaut line also has an MPC designed astronaut. This one based on the 2-inch, what I call the lunchbox and pistol pose. You can clearly see that he's got his lunchbox and his pistol there, and is a quite different figure than the LP toy designed spacemen next to him. They look somewhat similar, but there's a narrowness about the hips, and their gestures are somewhat wilder than what the MPC figures are doing. The MPC figures are holding equipment, and these things are sort of posing, and I know that they were derived from photographs of the Mercury 7 astronauts that were done for publicity purposes, I think in 1959. They already knew who was going to be flying, maybe even earlier. But this guy here with his pistol raised up, he's here in the SpaceX Explorer MEV2. clearly see that that is the same pose. And the rifle guy, I love the patina on this character. I'm never going to open this, I hope. Even though I'd love to have the figure out there with his rifle. But that's the rifle dude. And I got this guy out with this thing on his shoulder because he's here in the Apollo Moon Exploring Set 304K that I'm just about ready to open. There you can see he's got the atomic charger device or whatever the heck it's supposed to be, part of a bomb there on his shoulders. The MPC guys went to the moon to explore, essentially. They were packing heat, but the LP guys, they're there to get into it with whoever they have to contest with on the lunar surface. Many of the weapons have sort of rocket launching potential, and here of course is the Major Matt Mason Thunderbolt cannon from Apollo Moon Exploring 304L. And one of the things I've been wondering is, are the rocket sprues or the devices on the rocket sprues going to be universal in size? Are they interchangeable? I'm not entirely sure. I know that LP Toys pressed out this rocket sprue. Presumably multiple toy makers who were responsible for making the Golden Astronaut vehicle toy forms. Presumably they made their own rocket sprues, but you know, you never know. Looks like it might be about the same, and not that it matters. I'm just like, hey, you know, I'm not gonna open too many more of these things, and I want to shoot some rockets off. And speaking of opening them, here's the results of how we did with the acetone with these two Apollo Moon Exploring sets. I can't remember which one this is, 304 something and 304L. And you can see that the acetone actually did a pretty good job, although I think due to the age of the cardboard and the printing itself, it did discolor the patterning there. You can see it a little bit more on that side. It actually kind of works on it. Here's the back of that 304L card, and I actually just finished removing the plastic from this one right now. I picked up this tip from a Hot Wheels restoration expert who's trying to help people avoid getting scammed on Hot Wheels era cars that were allegedly packaged as new. And he was trying to make the point of how easy it is to alter a car, or rather first use the acetone to remove the plastic from the blister, alter the vehicle in some manner, and then with a hair dryer you can get the adhesive to re-adhere to it. I'm not sure if that method would work that well for this, and I'm not sure it probably would, and your average everyday shopper may not know, you know, to look for it. So when you're examining these listings, try to take a look at how the inking is around the sides, and look for that kind of discoloration. Although with the box condition of these that we're used to seeing, you know, you'd still purchase it as new. It's just something to think about, and when the things come out of the packages, look especially on the back to see if there's any indication that sort of a pattern is there. This is just 100% acetone, brushed out of a jar. And again, on this one, there's a pattern too from it. Just something to look for to help make sure you're not getting bilked on picking up your nice plastic space toys from Hong Kong. Love this figure. Can't wait. Cannot wait to open it just to have that figure at my disposal, and another moon grabber vehicle. I'll have to get out my Marks moon grabbers at some point, see if those are going to work at all. But alright, so we got a better video out of it, even though it was very frustrating to have the material get canned, and I'm going to enjoy some downtime.